Sukumar Ramanan.
Yes, sir.
Hi Suku, nice to meet you after 40 years, man.
Likewise. Thanks
Great.
so much for coming over and spending the afternoon with us.
First of all, Suku, congratulations on doing this yatra, both to you and your wife Chitra. Can you please introduce me, your wife and your children? Chitra, you might want to invite her to be on the picture as well.
Chitra, can you join us? This is my wife, Chitra.
Hi Chitra.
Hi.
So we've been married 31 years as of May of 87 to May of this year. Our daughter Priyanka is going to be 25, and Rohan, our son, will be 23 this year.
Wonderful, Suku. That's really nice to see you and your family, and to hear all the nice things about Chitra and Priyanka and Rohan. Yeah, you guys have done very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Nice to meet
Thank
you,
you.
Chitra.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Good to have you here.
Thank you. So, Suku, can you tell us, say, since 1978, we're meeting out 40 years. Can you please take me through your key milestones in life and your career of 40 years in about 2 to 3 minutes? Tell us the highlights, Suku.
So right after I finished UVCE, as all of you know, I was the baby of the class. So I was just 20 and not sure I was ready to, face the world. So I got an opportunity to work in a small company in Pina called Krishna Fabrications. So I was there as like an intern to start with, and ended up being like an assistant production engineer and production manager, as a matter of fact, as well. So at that time, I saw all my friends like Naim and my other friends like Ashok, migrate to the US, off to do their masters. So I said, I need to go too. So I ended up being selected to go to University of Cincinnati in Ohio. So I did my master's in industrial engineering there from 81 to 84. And then I moved to California to work for SPS Technologies in the aerospace fastener business. So I'm still in the same business, one of the few that has stayed with pure mech or industrial, other than IT or computer science. And as of right now, I'm the engineering manager at Arconic Fastening Systems. In the middle, I branched off to operations for many years and ran a facility, and I've come full circle to engineering.
Hey Suku, that's really great, and nice to see that you are still a traditional mechanical engineer, just like I have been. Hey, you said something about Krishna fittings. That rings some bell in me. Do you remember a guy called Krishna Prasad in the first semester?
Vaguely.
Did you make him leave engineering by any chance? Did you bag him?
I may have been the cause for many of them to do many things. Again, remember, I was the baby of the class, so what I found fun in other people did not.
I remember that guy Krishna Prasad and you ragging him in the mechanical engineering quad. That's my recollection of this Krishna name.
So what did I make him do?
I think he had long hair and you were asking him really tough questions. Why do you have this curly hair, man? And so was you. In fact, you also had curly hair at the time. And I kind of have vague remembrance about that one. By the way, Babaya, he caught you for your style of attendance, and he caught you for describing the years in months. What is the other story?
So in one of our first classes of English, and of course, a few of us were from convent schools, so we kind of thought, we were cat's whiskers in English. So anyway, so the first lesson was about from Mark Twain, talked
Yeah.
about, my watch worked perfectly for 18 months or something like that. So I immediately stood up and said, "Sir, why does he call it 18 months? He could easily say 1.5 years." So at first he said, "Well, maybe he's trying to say 18 is a long amount of time." So I said, "Well, a year is longer than a month." So I think he got irritated and he said, "Sit down." So I said, "Okay, sir." Then he says, "I'm glad you know that 18 months is the same as 1.5 years." So I stood up and took a bow and said, "Thank you, sir, I'm honored," and sat down. From that day forward, he didn't bother me or Naim. Anytime English class came up, he would kind of, turn a deaf ear.
With all apologies to Chitra, why were you teasing Suresh Babu as Udder Man?
So I think Babaya had us write an essay or something like that.
Yeah.
And so the topic came about cow dung. And so he asked Suresh Babu pointedly, "Do you know the meaning of cow dung?" And I think he said, "Udders" or something. Or no, it's the other way around. He asked him, what do you think the meaning of udders is? And he said, "Cow dung." So I think, Naim and I were famous for giving people nicknames, so that name just stuck.
Anything about recollections about Hiremat?
Yeah.
What can you say funny about it?
Hiremat have a few stories, but one that always ranks the top of our list is a story of how glass came to be.
Yes.
Right? And we were all master note takers.
Yes.
And especially Rangaraj, I have to give him thanks.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when Naim and I were in the morning show, Rangaraj used to take carbon copy notes for us. We'd give him 2 or 3 carbon sheets, and he would be writing really hard, so all of us would get a copy. So Hiremat says, "Farther back pushes curtains, history, materials, archaeologists." So we both put our hand up, Naim and I, and said, "Can you repeat that, sir?"
Yeah.
So he said the same thing 5 or 6 times, and then afterwards, when the day was over, we were comparing notes, trying to figure out what he was saying. So I guess he meant to say the archaeologists pushed the curtains of history further back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and he said something about, the sand by the beach was heated up and then it became first-time glass.
By the way, I'm also here to take some autographed crocodile clips for Magdi Srinivas Murthy. So in fact, I wanted to bring, but the airplane wouldn't allow me to bring those crocodile clips so that I can take your autograph and present it to Magdi Srinivas Murthy. You remember what you did? Maybe you can tell us what better.
So I think it was electrical lab.
Yeah.
Magdi was, his name was A.N. Srinivas Murthy,
Yes,
correct?
yes, yeah.
And he was in our lab as well. I'm not sure if he was my batchmate for the lab work, but we would have to connect a lot of the motors and things like that with wire and alligator clips. And I would, very deftly hold the clip right behind his ear, and then he would swat my hand and I would let go. So the clip would actually, clip onto his ear and he would be really yelping for pain. Or I would, stamp on his slippers. He had flip-flops those days, what we call flip-flops here.
Hawaii chappals.
Hawaii chappals.
Yes.
And I would stamp on the front of it and push him so he would trip. And I felt really bad because one time his chappals actually broke. So if Margaret, you're watching, I'll replace you with a pair.
Okay. What about gear jam in the machine shop? Gear jam and sledgehammer things you did.
I don't remember much of those, but
Gear jam is what used to switch off with the foot. They measure lathes and call it gear jam. And the sledgehammer I remember is that in the smithy shop.
Yeah.
If you remember, we had to do that sledgehammer.
Right.
and you'd bring that huge sledgehammer between the guy's legs. I still remember those things.
Well, what I remember of the smithy shop was,
Yeah.
as you know, Ramanjanaya canteen was one of our, or the second famous haunt apart from our canteen.
Yeah.
So it was across the street, and we weren't allowed to go during class, but
Yes.
we would, request people to watch our, what do you call it, the piece, what do they call our
Model.
the model. While it was in the smithy, while we all took almost a 40-minute break to go eat chow chow bhat in Ramanjanaya canteen. So when our turn came to watch the smithy, the other guys went. When they came back, we would fake that their model completely melted. They would really throw a hissy fit. We'd say, "Oh, I'm done. I'm toast." Then we would produce the model back after putting them through some tough times.
So, any funny memories of your favorite lecturers, Suku? Who was your favorite or most interesting?
Of course,
memories you have?
Babaya was our all-time favorite because he's the original person that coined the term Sundar Ros.
Yeah.
He gave Sundar Ros his name, and then of course, if you remember. Raymond Arthur Joseph Ross.
Yes.
His name was too long, so it was on 2 lines of the attendance sheet. And so when he called Raymond Arthur, he stood up and put up his hand. He said Joseph Ross, he stood up again. And so he's saying, "Hey, stupid fellow, why are you standing up twice?" Then he had explained to him his name was Raymond Arthur Joseph Ross. So then, pranksters at Naimanaya, we renamed him Raj Ross.
Oh, how about Govinda Gowda? You played volleyball or
No, we
basketball
would
in the class?
we would play soccer actually. So Govinda Gowda, we would put a row of tables or benches at 90 degrees, basically facing the door. 90 degrees to the main board, the chalkboard. So you have to look to your left to see the chalkboard, and so we would make noises like Govinda Gowda, Govinda Gowda, and then he would stand up on the bench and say, "Yeah, no, idiot." So he ended up being a nice professor actually.
Yeah. By the way, what happened to your blue bike that you used to ride in?
So I think my mom finally presented it to some servant boy.
Yeah.
But that bike used to give a lot of memories, or brought back a lot of memories, especially when Naim and I used to ride through Kaban Park, and I had an electric horn on it.
Yeah.
And so I would flap my fingers in front of the horn while Naim is just tapping his bell. So it would really sound like the noise is coming from his bell, which really threw people off.
By the way, I have a very crazy memory of what you used to do riding that bike. For some reason, you would wear the right shoe to the left and left shoe to the right. And you had some strange reason why. Why don't you tell us?
I've done some crazy things like try to ride the bike cross-handed,
I see.
along with the shoes, so it looked like it is in sync, but it's not. But talking about cycles, I'm reminded of our good friend Mr. Kasan Ravi Kumar.
Yes.
We would wait for him to come to the cycle stand, and we would have a spanner or a wrench, as they call him here, ready. As soon as he got off and took off outside the cycle stand, we'd sneak up in the back. We would dismantle his cycle seat, and before he got to the class, somehow the cycle seat would be hanging in the top of the class. And it took him quite a few minutes to realize it was his seat initially.
I'm sure Kaza is watching this and having a good laugh now about this.
Yeah, but we've had a lot of good fun at Kasa's expense. I remember, I think it was Manikanikama, or it was a math class anyway.
Manikanikama.
And, Kasa was sitting between Sharat Shetty and myself.
Yeah.
And so we we both held his arms and tickled him and said, Kasa! and he leapt back and fell down in the from the back row. And so he was very cautious of us from that point on.
Hey, who are your project mates, Suku?
Shashi Anand Kale and G.S. Venugopal, alias Hosahalli Chicken.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, okay. Kale was your batchmate too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I think I must have gotten upset about something childish.
Yeah.
I was in charge of compiling the final project report and got it bound and everything.
Yeah.
And I guess I refused to give it to them.
Oh, I see.
So none of them knew where I lived.
Yeah.
So Kale used his resources
Yeah.
and got a hold of CG Kiran,
Oh, I
Maharaj.
see.
So Kiran knew where I lived, so they showed up at my house. I think it was just Kale and Kiran. And so Kale said, "Hey, project report got up, huh?" So that was my his first meeting with my mom. So he had tea and everything, if I remember. And then I said, "Yeah, you go ahead, take it now."
Yeah, I'm sure all the other friends are watching too, Suku. And it was great to see you.
Likewise.
And what is your message to all our friends of UVCE?
It's a great 40 years of friendship. Let's keep it going. But above all, stay healthy. Exercise, get fit, because we're not getting any younger. We want to see each other in many years to come. So that's my message. Hopefully all of you will be around as we turn 70 and 80 and thereafter.
Suku, great meeting you, and thank you for your few minutes of your time.
Thank you.
For this fond recollections of friends. And also thanks Chitra for joining you in that and having a good laugh sitting on the other side. And with your permission, I'll have this circulated among our friends. You'll be on YouTube, you'll be a famous man.
All right.
And all those. And my personal best wishes to you and your family. And many happy returns of your birthday as well, recent birthday.
Thank you.
And as you said, we would like to see each other for the 70s, 80s and beyond. Okay?
Yes.
So thank you, Suku, once
You're
again,
welcome.
and
Thank
wish
you
you all the best.
Thank you for doing this and sharing it among our friends.
Bye.
Bye-bye.